Hey everybody, this is Seth Keep It Real, and I have a special guest with me today. You guys know him. His name is Saad Basim. Saad, thank you so much for jumping in on this all the way from Montreal, Canada. I really appreciate it, brother.
Thank you so much for having me, brother. You know, I always enjoy those little quick videos, so thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, the reason we wanted to pick this topic today is because I know a lot of you struggle. PPC is hard. It is not easy. I actually got an idea. Saad, is there any way you should be here in Austin, man? It would be so nice to have you right here. Instead of being this little tiny screen, you could be right here, brother. We could do this together. I could just come over, drive down from Montreal, Canada, and join you.
It wouldn't be much. It would be only 24 hours, so I'll try to do that. Give me a few minutes, and I'll try to do that.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Awesome. So, Saad, if you guys don't mind waiting for – oh, he left. Where'd he go? If you don't mind waiting for 24 hours, he's going to drive over here, and he's going to join us today for this PPC ad campaign, which I think would be really awesome. Wait a minute. He made it. Check this out, guys. Here is Saad Basim.
How are you guys?
So, guys, this is Saad. He is here with me in Austin. Thank you so much, man, for driving all the way down. That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
I want you to see his commitment to you. Like at the request, like this, at the drop of a hat, boom, he's here already. How cool is that?
It's a really awesome drive. Was unplanned, but that's what's beauty about Amazon. Yeah. Right? It gives you the freedom that we take for granted.
Yes.
All of a sudden, we just with my wife, we're talking. I'm like, hey, let's go ahead and go to Orlando. Went to Orlando. Then I had a few talks with you from last Friday webinar. And also I was like, you know what? Let me go to Austin. So we did 17 hours. We just arrived yesterday. I was so glad to meet you in person. Yeah. I mean, I met you so many times, right, but actually to having you home, it's really something nice. And to meet the family, meet Kimberly, it means a lot. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So he's here in our studio in Austin, and this is super exciting. So guys, we're going to talk about PPC. We picked this topic because we know it's difficult. It's a struggle for a lot of people, and it's very, very easy to get stuck in PPC. So I'm going to address one of the biggest tips that help people when it comes to PPC, and one of the mysteries that people wrestle with when their PPC campaigns are not working correctly. It's extremely important that the title in your listing and that the bullet points, the keywords you put in there, are relevant and accurate to your listing, and that they match the PPC keywords you're trying to rank for. If they don't, you're going to have a problem. So Amazon, when you run that automatic campaign, they're looking for relevant keywords. And if your keywords aren't relevant and you're not updating the listing based on what you're seeing, you're going to have a problem getting any traction at all or ranking in any way. You want to expound on that, brother?
That's exactly true. And I think that's why a lot of people, when they start the automatic campaigns, they say, oh, I'm not getting any impressions, or I'm not getting any sessions or conversions. Why? Because their listing is not optimized. Optimize, what I mean by it is usually getting all the related keyword and the high search volume keyword within your niche, within your product, to be able to have them in your listing. So Amazon can scrape the whole listing, see what are the keywords, and that's where they're going to give you the push, or they're going to index you for. So if you don't start with automatic campaign and you're not optimized, basically you're wasting your time. Right. It's not worth it. So that's why with listing optimization, we need to make sure, especially for automatic, fully optimize, use all the high keywords that your competitors are doing. And that's the most important. And then you can take the automatic, take the keywords, download the ad report. Then you can start your phrase match or exact match manual campaign.
Right. And this is the key, guys, that this is why listing optimization is relevant to PPC. In other words, it's not like, hey, I have this product, I want to promote it, let me run some ads so people buy it. It's not like that. It's the listing needs to be tweaked and changed and edited so that it is accurately relevant to what people are searching for, and that the keywords you're trying to rank for are the keywords that are in the listing. Otherwise, it doesn't work correctly. Now, could you expound? You mentioned, Saad, there's a hack when it comes to titles. Could you expound on that? Because I think this hack is going to be super helpful to a lot of our watchers.
For sure. That's something a trick that I share with a lot of people. And it's very, we came up with it with a lot of testing. You know, PPC is all about testing. So what we came up with, I came up with this. Basically, let's say we're doing laptop, okay? Yeah. Let's say Mac laptop, okay? Mac laptop, we put in the search term. I get all the competitors with the organically placed first, or the top 10 or 20. I go through the whole listing. I take their titles, all their titles, put them in a notepad. I'm going to have like 20 to 30 titles, all of them in one notepad. Then I'm going to take those keywords, put them in a keyword frequency counter.
And you said notepad. I think what he means is notes for the Mac computer.
Exactly. It's, notepad, if you're using the better version, which is PC, for sure. You know,
he actually walks into our house with a PC and just looks like, oh, that's a PC.
I was like, get out of my house. I was like, man, it's only PC.
This is true love. It's unconditional agape love. Go ahead.
But for real, I mean, this is, we tested so much. So I'm going to take all the titles, 22 of them, get them all in notepad.
Your competitor titles.
My competitors, because they already have done the work for us. Right?
They're ranking for a reason.
Exactly. They're ranking because their keywords are there. So what they do, every time they run their PPC, they get the ad reports, they will tweak their title because it's the most converting thing in our index, and your listing is your title. So where are the most keywords? In the title. So I scrape them, all of them, take them, put them in Notepad, then take all these keywords, move them into a keyword frequency counter. So if we're doing laptop, Mac laptop, so it's going to show up, hey, laptop was mentioned 90 times. Mac was mentioned 80 times. Portable was mentioned 60 times. So all these are going to tell you, hey, if these are the most frequency mentioned, that means
obviously more important.
Exactly. So you put them in the title. So you
jump in real quick.
For sure,
guys, the reason he's mentioning titles, because that's the most important part of your listing other than your photos. The title, the keywords, that's the most important part. So if they're already ranking, they obviously know what they're doing. So why go reinvent the wheel? Build your success off of their success. Find the best keywords, the ones repeated the most, and you're going to build it out based on that.
Exactly. And if you covered 100% basically from related keyword from your competitors, when you run the automatic campaign, you'll be able to find more keywords that your competitors are not doing. And that's where you're going to have an edge.
Right.
So Amazon's going to work its hardest to find all the keywords. You already covered the most important ones. With the ad reports, you're going to find the best ones. Then, only then, you will take the high keywords, whether it's the highest clicks, the most with a click-through rate, the one with the lowest ACoS. Then you move them to a phrase match or exact match, depending on those keywords that you.
And you're getting that data from the automatic ad campaign.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to recap, guys. This is so key. First, you're determining the keywords you want based on your top competitors. The ones in the titles, the keywords in the titles, and you're ranking them in order of priority from the most mentioned to the least. Then you're taking that data. When you run your automatic ad campaign, that's going to give you more data. And you're going to look at click-through rate. You're going to look at what words are converting into sales. You're going to look at impressions. And you're going to use that data to create your manual campaign where you can do phrase or exact match. So now you know which words you want to rank for. Now, is there anything else you say beyond that?
When I start any new product, I start with two things. One of them, automatic campaign, where my listing is really optimized.
Right.
And the second thing is going to be a phrase match campaign. The phrase match campaign, how I'm going to find it is basically when I do my research for my top keywords, I'm going to find the best 100 keyword. Right. These are the ones that are going to be the most related with the high search volume, and it's basically related to your product. I'm going to take these ones and I'm going to run, along with the automatic campaign, I'm going to run a phrase match.
Right.
And that's what's going to find me basically
other variations off of those.
Exactly. And they're going to be so targeted, like Mac laptop, a phrase match. What is it basically? Mac laptop, and it's going to add a word after it or before it. So I know it's going to be so targeted that when I put them in phrase match, it's going to give me all the keywords that I need.
So that way you don't miss out on other ones that are similar, but not exactly the same, but they still have those two main keywords in there.
And what we found out is basically if you run a campaign with a lot of keywords, you're not going to get impressions. It's not going to get hits. You'll be like, oh my God, my campaign is not working.
Right.
If you stuff a lot of keywords. So we found out the threshold is basically 100 keywords max. And that's what we find. So if you have more than 100 keywords, I will have let's say we have 300 keywords. I'm going to put phrase match 3 times, and each campaign is going to have 100 keywords. So this I can get the most impressions, and will be indexed for sure.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And guys, this is super important. We were talking today. We had some tea and tacos today in Austin. We were talking about Amazon and where it's headed. And if you guys notice, Amazon's changing a lot. And so we're constantly saying, okay, how can we stay ahead of the game for our products? One of the things we noticed is the value of reviews is dropping. Even giveaways is getting a little less emphasis. and Amazon's moving closer and closer towards relevant targeted keywords. This is so important. I don't know if you guys remember, but I did a video about, I don't know, must have been 2 months ago with the Sherlock hat. And I talked about, if you know keywords, you know 30% of everything you need to know. I still stand by that. You must know the keywords. And when you understand keywords, you understand a ton more about Amazon. This relates to your PPC ad campaign. It relates to your conversion and even to your ranking. Because if you don't have the right keywords for them to search, you're not going to show up at all because they're not searching for the keyword relevant to your product. Look at keywords like the way to get into the minds and brains of people who are searching in your potential customers. Now, what I'm going to do, Saad, is I'm going to jump over here to the questions. This is obviously a super hot topic and something we could probably do again another time as well. Let me go down here, and we're just going to take as many as we can, really rapid fire. All right. And we promise to give short answers so we can get to as many of you guys as we can. All right. So you must have telepathic power. I was just thinking about PPC and social proof. Leonardo, we actually do. This is one of our abilities. No.
That's what we teach in Just One Dime.
Right, exactly. That's the real key. All right, guys. PJ, no problem. I'm glad we're here. Okay, here we go. Do you really need reviews before you start a campaign? I am really having a hard time getting reviews. And Elon, yes, you do, but you don't need a ton. Get a few really good reviews, preferably one of them a video review, because then when I find your listing, the chances of me buying it are much greater, which means your conversion goes up. And because I bought it, your ranking goes up based on the keyword that I searched when I found your listing. So if you don't have reviews, it's like you're doing a lot of work with a lot less results. Now, there are some products you do such a good job in differentiation, you don't need reviews, and you can sell those anyways. And I've done this, and my wife and I have done this with some products, but you're missing out. It's like saying, do I want 2 to 3 times the sales and the conversion, or do I not? So yes, 100%, you do need to get some reviews, but do not get a huge flood of reviews at the beginning, or they're likely to disappear, which has happened to thousands and hundreds of, maybe at least tens of thousands. I don't know about hundreds, tens of thousands of sellers. Amazon's wiped out their reviews, organic as well. So you got to be really careful about that.
And I think you can also offset that if you need, okay?
Right.
If you lower your price, because we have some situations where like, oh, I have my regular price, plus I have no reviews, but I'm running PPC, I'm not getting results. For sure, you're not going to get results. So you have to do one of the things. Or you get reviews, many reviews, or you lower the price to break even so you can make it more attractive to customers to buy.
Yes.
Right? That's the way you're going to be able to do it. And if you have 1 or 2 reviews, you should be good to go. But differentiation is a key for sure.
Absolutely. Ruben says, I'm having problems too with my PPC. I'm getting clicks. So you're getting impressions, you're getting clicks, but apparently my copy is not winning them over. So in other words, your conversion is low. So there's 2 potential issues. Number 1, your keyword's not relevant enough. So they pull it up, they see it, but when they go to your listing, it's not connected well enough. Number 2, most likely, your listing's not convertible enough. People aren't seeing a reason to buy it. Your listing needs to be extremely good. By good, I mean it needs to look the best. So if I search a keyword and I find all these competitors come up in the first page of search results, Ruben, does yours look the best? Are your photos the best? Is your title the most clear? Is it the most relevant to what I'm looking for? Those are the 2 things you need to look at if you're not getting buys, but you're getting a lot of clicks. Anything you would add to that, brother?
That's exactly what it is, man. You're right.
Jurgis says, hi, all glad I caught this. No problem, man. Let's see. All right. We're looking for the questions. Can I sell books and make lots of money? Guys, I just interviewed Nathan Walsh. He did over 30,000 in 12 days. He started with Just One Dime last summer on his first official launch in December. He did it was like right around $32,000 in 22 days. You guys don't know how he started? He had $600 and he sold books. You know, I had a dime. He had $600. He started with $600 and said, look, I'm just going to go start selling. So he started finding books and selling them, doing retail arbitrage, built up enough cash, launched his first product, over $30,000 in 22 days. And I'm very proud to say he learned that from Just One Dime last summer. You guys will see the interview very soon. I love his answers because his answers are so helpful if you're launching a product. So yes, 100%, you can absolutely do that. Saban says, Saad. Yeah, I think he's singing. Can we make the same request and have Saad come to my hometown?
Give me a second.
He's going to go. That'd be so funny. He shows up in the next one. He has like 10 clones, guys. This is the reality. This is why he's so badass. There's like 14 of him. Let's see. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Can you appear in my living room? All right. Let's see. If you're on a type, oh no, don't do that. I hate it when it scrolls up like that. Give me 1 second, guys.
now I see the struggle that you have.
Yes, you do. It just boom, it just goes up. Yeah. Okay. KFB Broker says this: if you are on a tight budget for your first product, what is the best strategy to run PPC ads with success? Also, how much money would you advise spending to get results? I'm on a $1,500 budget for private label #1. Want to take a job at it?
You know what? This is a very good thing. I don't think you should spend a lot of money to begin with. For people who are impatient, I'm an impatient person, so I'll spend a lot of money because I want to see the data very quick. But you can do it over time. If you get a product that you find the keywords are very expensive to target, I will look for long-tailed keywords, for a longer ones that still get impressions and still have a good conversions. And that's what you need to do. In your case, anybody's case, and that's how I recommend to move upward with your budget, is basically start with something automatic campaign, let's say 30 to 50 bucks tops. I would go 3% more than the suggested default bid that I recommend. And I work my way up. If I find good keywords, then I can spend as much money as I can because I know I'm going to convert. I know I'm going to make money of those sales or through these keywords and also get organic sales from them. So the budget, I would slow down. I think the most people, what they do, they go with the short tail keyword, for example, Mac laptop, and they will bid on that instead of going Mac laptop, 15-inch, silver, whatever it is, which still has impressions.
And the reason he mentions long tail keywords, you guys, is because if I search the long tail keyword, the chances of me purchasing are much higher because I already knew what I wanted. I knew I didn't want a PC. I knew I wanted a Mac silver laptop. We're going to do a PC versus Mac commercial, I promise. And I knew I wanted a silver, Mac top 15-inch MacBook Pro, 500 gigabyte with a static drive. I knew I wanted that. So if I search something that specific, when I get to your product, the chances of buying it are very high. See what I mean? So something I've noticed that a lot of our students do, which I think is amazing, they will find a niche that a real nerdy group of people, by nerdy, I mean like they're really into one super specific topic that not a lot of people even know exists. Like I'll give you an example. What are those role-playing, trying to remember, role-playing lifestyle groups? There's a term for them, I forget. For a while, when they first came out, they would like reenact Renaissance times and stuff like that. A lot of people didn't even know what it was. But there was this group of people, and I mean that in all respect, by nerdy, I mean they're really into it. People started selling those kinds of products, like foam swords, for Renaissance to play fight and stuff like that. As a result, they got really good sales starting on small budgets because it was so niched down that when someone did find it, they would buy. But they didn't have to spend a ton of money to get it out there because they weren't entering, like supplements, a super competitive product category, or some sports and outdoors product categories are super competitive. They didn't have to spend a ton of money to make a ton of money. When they spent money and someone did find it, they would buy it. So the income was lower, but they didn't have to spend so much. So that's a strategy, guys, you can use. Let's see. Sergian says having perfect pictures and description of product before running PPC, also having some review. Absolutely. Very, very well said, Sanji and Kim. Okay, if you need to do a viral, let's see. I'm looking for questions. What's up, T. Drew? Hey, PJ. Okay, PJ says this. Backend keywords. Do you put all the keyword phrases into the backend, or do you eliminate repeated words? So I eliminate repeated words. I don't use the same ones. So the ones that I'm not going to get into the title and the bullet points, I'm going to put on the backend. And as you guys know, there's a 250 limit character spaces for those 5 lines. There was a day where you could do what was called stuffing and put a lot of keywords in there. Now you need to be more restricted and careful. By the way, something else to know. So for years, I have not seen Amazon flag anyone for using a competitor brand keyword on the back end, even though you're not supposed to. Just recently, another very advanced seller said they just got flagged for it. And they didn't get their account suspended, very likely, but they got a warning sent. So they had, now how they figured that out or took the time to do that, I don't know. But that's just the latest I heard on that.
Amazon is just trying to get keyword gating also. Yeah. So for example, if you put Nike or Apple, for sure they're going to flag you.
Kind of like a brand.
It's a big brand in the known. You don't want to target them. Sometimes you can get away with other private label.
Like a third-party seller.
Third-party, you know, who's, I will target them only if they have lower quality product than mine. And they actually have a higher price. So if I target them, I know I'm going to be able to win their customers if I show up in their sponsor ad at the bottom of their listing, basically other sponsored people, and I'll be able to get their sale, basically.
That's smart. That's really smart, man.
But don't abuse it.
What is an okay click-through rate?
I like 0.25%. That's the lowest. But actually, for the highest keyword, I would like to see more than 0.75.
And it's also going to depend on your product category as well. So keep in mind, some product categories have a greater competition and some have less. So if there's greater volume, you might get more people clicking on it, but that doesn't necessarily mean the sales go up, because you have to get more to get the same number of sales. So this is why it's so important, guys, that you understand your product category. A lot of people on our team, they'll do what's called a test launch. They'll launch a smaller set. They'll run PPCI campaigns just as a test. They're not even trying to make money, trying to understand how it works. So then they say, okay, this is how fast it sells. This is how good it is. Now I'm going to be ready for the last quarter. I'm going to buy a larger quantity, and then boom, launch that.
And the one thing I would like to mention, I don't want people to look at the click-through rate all the time. I think they have to look at the ACoS. You have to look at the clicks.
Holistically, all the pieces.
There's a lot of research ads, or the report ad, you will find keyword they don't have ACoS.
Right.
So if you don't have ACoS, how are you going to judge those keywords?
Right.
You're going to judge them through the click-through rate.
Right.
And that's the only time I use click-through rate. But the ACoS is going to be my main thing with the clicks and impressions for sure. These are the three ones that I will really, really focus on.
Someone says, Celine says, how do you do phrase match campaign? So when you create your campaign, you have the option to select. You'll have broad, phrase, and exact. Exact means, let's say my word was silver MacBook Air. Okay, exact means those are the only words in that order. No additional words can be added. Now I'm going to switch to the other extreme. Broad means I could say silver MacBook Air, and they could be switched around. Words could be added in between. Phrase means those two words are the same, nothing between them, but they can come with small words before or after. So that's phrase. So phrase, and guys, there's different strategies on this. I prefer to go from broad all the way to exact. I know you like phrase a lot. There's different strategies that work, but the idea is that you understand why you're doing it. I'm not going to go with an exact match unless I already know that keyword is going to make me money. I don't want someone constantly searching coffee, 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 and clicking on the ad. You know, they keep clicking it and it's costing me money. But if they come to one of my coffee products, they realize, wait a minute, that's a coaster, but I was looking for coffee beans, you see? So that's where you have to be careful. There's certain words you want them to be exact match because they make you money, and other words you don't know yet. And then some that you turn into negative so they don't waste you money, using the example of coffee.
And I think you touched here a very important thing. I want people not to misunderstand us.
Yeah.
I start with automatic because it's easier for people who doesn't know keywords.
Right.
So they cannot start with the broad. So automatic, then phrase, or you do broad and then phrase. That's how we'll start with. Right. So you strategy 100% because you understand keywords. So you know how to what to put in the broad campaign. People who doesn't know, it's very hard to start with it.
It's very good. Yeah. And if you think about it, guys, in both cases, we're teaching you a funnel. We really are. The automatic campaign is collecting tons of data. Okay. The broad is collecting more broad data, and we're slowly narrowing it down until finally you have the exact match. Even before you run your PPCI campaign, guys, how do you know what keywords to put in the title? Titles, competitors, merchant words, keyword tool dominator, job toolbox. Like you already should have a huge list. 200. The struggle I have when I launch a product is knowing which keywords not to use. You should have so many. You're like, oh my goodness, okay, which are the right ones? I really have to narrow this down. And then your PPCI campaign tells you, okay, which ones are really working, which ones aren't. One more thought on this really quick, guys, before we go to the next question. I've heard a lot of people who will say, well, once I get it going and optimized, I can just ignore it and let it go. And there's danger in this, guys. Yes, you don't need to spend as much time on it once it's going and it's going well. But I still highly recommend at least once a day, you go in, you check your PPCI campaigns and optimize them, because people don't stay the same. They're fluid. Therefore, keywords don't stay the same. Keywords are just the result of what people in their mind think and want. So if, today I might search for MacBook Air, but maybe last year it would have been MacBook Pro. Different keywords are going to rank. And as the market changes, you need to flow with that market. One more thought. We teach this hack on our team. I don't share this publicly, but I will tell you the results of it. There is a way called the Secret Gem Hack where you can find keywords that no one else is using or doesn't know about, or most sellers don't know about. And you can set up your ad campaign so it's hunting and grabbing different keywords that you don't know about, and it keeps you ahead of the competition. Oh my goodness, there's this keyword. People are searching for it, but a lot of sellers aren't using it. Therefore, the bid cost is lower because the competition isn't up, but the conversion rate is high. And that's for just one-time warriors only.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see. Amazon now won't let me update my title unless I contact support. What gives? Do you have a hijacker on the listing? Are they being considered now? Do they have a, there are times where a hijacker will get onto your listing, then they will be considered the owner of the listing and have control over the title because of the health of their account. Maybe you got some A to Z feedback or something that dropped the status of your account and you no longer have ownership. I've also seen situations where you just couldn't change it and you had to call them to get them to release it for you. So I would call Amazon directly. Let's see. Okay, so Mr. Sergio says, same keyword on computer is page 5. On mobile is page 1. Why is there so much difference?
It's just that's how people are optimized for mobile, right? When we do listing optimization as well, we make sure that we're optimized for mobile. So you'll be able to rank for differently in mobile than regular listing or in PC and computer. So this is all Amazon algorithm. If you see a lot of sales are coming through mobile, for sure you're going to rank much better in the mobile app instead of doing it in the computer, which is going to be different kind of ranking. So this is all according to Amazon, but I believe it's because of the sales coming through mobile, or you're optimized for that keyword within mobile.
And people's search patterns are a little bit different mobile than a computer. So if you're seeing on a computer, you're more likely to type out longer tail keywords. On mobile, you might do voice to text or just type in something short. So therefore, the results are going to be different. And Amazon actually, this is why you can see when you look at sales, mobile versus computer, Amazon does show somewhat of a distinction between the two. Even on a mobile, if you're on mobile web application versus the application itself, one of them you can keep scrolling, the other one you have to hit next, whereas on a computer you do have to hit next. So what I would do is optimize for both. So exactly what Saad said, if you find that's coming up first on mobile, optimize for that. If a different word's coming up on the computer, optimize for that one as well. But understand, as we continue to develop as a culture and around the world, Amazon's become, and all companies really, the good ones, are becoming more and more intuitive and fluid with how people perform. And there's a difference on shopper habits on mobile versus a computer. So keep that in mind, you guys, as you do this. And I'm really glad you brought that up, because mobile often doesn't get the attention that it needs. Is this info in all of your classes? Yes. And we have 6 hours of live group coaching every single week. We even have a Wednesday night Q&A session where you can ask any questions that you want. We also have a whole bunch of new exclusive Just One Dime videos coming out this summer. We were laughing about it the other day because when we counted the number, it was like, I used to, it says 50. It was like, oh, 96 just for this section. Like, oh my goodness. So yes, this and a ton more. Ivan says, if you do a bundle, how do you split keywords between the main product and the supplementary product? I love this question. Do you want to take it first?
It's just, it's going to be parent, right? And if it has a variation, it's going to be parent, and there's going to be child. The only thing I would do, I would keep the same copy with the same keywords. The only thing I will change, if this one red or blue, I will just add it to the variation. And I will keep it consistent from the main listing, which is the parent, and to the child, to the children. Basically.
Yeah, that's really good. The children. Children. We're dads. We get it. Children, one thing I really like about the question is, this is just a little tip on bundling, you guys. When you do a bundle, if your primary product, let's say, is packaging tape, you do not want your supplementary, your complementary product to be something of greater size, weight, value, because it confuses people and they don't know which one is the main product. So if you were trying to market after people trying to get packaging tape, but then you added on a weight scale as your supplementary product for weighing the product, that's very confusing to people. Isn't this supposed to be the main product because it's more expensive? See what I mean? So make sure your complementary products are smaller, lighter, and cheaper. So maybe a felt marker would be appropriate, or something to quickly, hang the tape on right here on your desk while you're packaging up your package, if you're doing FBM or something like that, or your Etsy store. The reason I share this, and tying it back to what you said, Ivan, is your main keyword still needs to be the main product. That's where I put my primary focus on. It's about knowing your customer.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood it. I thought it was variation, not bundling.
But I think what you said still was really good. Yes. And so I was like, just keep saying
the bundling, yes, you're right. Always the main one, and the other ones you just add a few things, which is correct. I'm sorry, I misunderstood it.
Yeah, so you got that for free. You just do that. No, I liked the answer because a lot of people ask that question. Like, well, what about that? How do I change it, All right, so let's see. PJ says, let's see. Okay, Rushel says, where can we get the best match keywords to optimize our listing before starting PPC? Well, I'll share you some strategies I use so I can share his. So I like merchant words for getting keyword ideas. It really helps me to think outside the box. I don't like it for targeting down on specific keywords. My specific keywords are going to come from Amazon itself, because that's exactly where people are going to search. And not to steal your idea, but the titles is going to be one of the primary ways you're going to get the keywords for your listings. Another thing I'll do is I'll use something like the JOD toolbox. If you go to toolbox.justwhatdime.com, there is in there a tool called Keyword Autocomplete. And for example, if I can use packaging tape as an example again, if I'm trying to figure out what products to sell and I type in packaging, it'll tell me all words that people are searching, packaging, and then the next word, packaging tape, packaging box, packaging kit, packaging supplies, and it'll give it a ranking. And the lower the number is on the ranking, as in like a 1, 2, or 3, the more demand there is for that word. So again, this is still more broad. It's more precise than merchant words, but it's still pretty broad. I'm collecting data. So that's where I'm going to start. Then once I know the product I'm going to sell, when I put that main keyword into a place like a Mazow or Marketplace Intelligence or Jungle Scout, that keyword, then I'm going to find all the top performing competitors based on that keyword, and I'm going to go and look at their listings, and that's also going to give me more data.
No, exactly what he said, man. There is nothing in it. And the hack we did about the title is just to be able to generate the most relative keywords. But for sure, you need to find, as you said, merchant words, find keyword tool dominator. You can find, our Jody toolbox also to get all the autocomplete that you'll be able to put later on in your bullet points, in your backend keyword, and your description if needed. So exactly, that's the strategy. I just give them a very quick one for the title so they can be optimized right away.
And guys, that's, in my opinion, that is the best. You know why? Because you're getting the data directly from Amazon. You're getting it based on, why is it ranking? People are buying. Well, obviously, they're searching that keyword. See what I mean? So guys, when you work, don't just work hard, work smart. Build your success off learning from others and just do better. Okay, that strategy has served me so well. You know, when we first started launching our products, I remember I forget where I found it, but someone said, what if you look at the reviews of competitors? And I started studying that at the early days, and I leveraged that. I'm using, other people took time to launch their product. Now I'm using the data that people have given feedback to make my product better. And that is awesome. And one more thing I want to add to that really quick, you guys. What I love about this conversation is you see some different strategies between Saad and myself. Obviously, my strategies are better than his, but apart from, sorry guys, I had to, but no, seriously. This is the beauty of Just One Dime. It's not just one person with a course, go buy a course with all these promises of success and it's going to be easy. That's not true. That's bullshit. Sorry, I said it. It's bullshit. It is hard. You will work your butt off and you will sweat, and some days you'll be stressed. But we have 9 coaches all selling on Amazon, all with various experiences, teaching you every week. And the goal is that you get a rounded out experience and learn from that. So if you want, you're like, man, how do I learn? Like, I need help. Save yourself the $20,000 I lost in the early days in Amazon. Go find someone who can help you and de-risk yourself and launch your products and start making money. The reason Saad's here today is because he sells on Amazon. He has that freedom to go anywhere in the world. He was in Florida a few days ago. Hey, Seth, can I show up? Sure, no problem. Come on over. Ta-da! Like, you can't do that if you have a regular 9-to-5 job. That's just awesome. All right, we'll take a few more questions, and then we promised our wives this would be 15 minutes. I don't want to get in trouble.
Enjoy a lot.
You're like, Seth, come on. All right, where can we get? Let's see. Oh yeah, we answered that one. Okay, traveling merchant. I love that name, traveling merchant. Would doing FBA versus seller fulfilled guarantee the buy box for PPC? It won't guarantee it, but it'll increase your chances. So the 3 algorithms that I know best that help with buy box, and feel free, brother, to add to this side if there's anything else you think of. Number 1 is selling FBA. You'll get the buy box more easily. Number 2, a healthy account. You'll get the buy box more easily. Number 3, your price. If your price is the lowest, you get the buy box more easily. Now, that's not a guarantee. There are probably other algorithms Amazon uses, but I'm consistently seeing by experience, those 3 have the biggest impact.
Seller feedback also has a little bit of it, and also the product review itself.
Yeah.
If that's not good, you're actually going a little bit. It's very hard to get the buy box, and also the category. A lot of people start playing with categories or subcategories because they want to get the bestseller badge.
Right.
And that's actually hurts them for indexing, because every time you change the category, you need
lose
to be
indexing.
re-indexed.
Right.
That means you need to be re-indexed.
Right.
And if you're in the category that's not, every time you get hits from PPC and they find out that you're in the wrong category, your campaign is not going to work, and you will lose also the buy box.
Yeah.
So
that's really good.
Make sure that I always tell everyone, go ahead, ask the catalog department, call them and tell them, listen, I'm selling this product. Do you mind if you tell me what are the percentage of my competitors are selling in which category?
Yeah.
And go with that.
Yeah.
And play it fair. And that's
good. This next question, KFB Brokers, how many units would you say to give away? I'm going to refer you to my last 2 videos ago. I do a whole video on this, and I go really in depth on it, pretty in depth on it. And I do explain the answer to that question. It would take probably like 10 minutes to give it justice. So go to YouTube and search how to do a product giveaway. It'll pop up on the first page and you'll see it right there. All right, we'll take a couple more questions. Mario says, oh no, it went down again. Sorry guys, it jumped. Okay, there's so many questions here. I'm just gonna take a random one right here. Okay, Sunjun Kim says, I think I found one product, but more than 100 competitors there. Only a couple of sellers have great sale, 2,000 per month, which have less than 60 reviews. Is it a great product to sell? So there's other factors I would look at, but this is a great beginning place. So one of the things we teach on our team is you don't want to just look at the number of sellers, but the number of top sellers. So for example, if I'm one of your competitors and my product's selling, once a month, you shouldn't even consider me. But if he's one of your competitors and he's selling 100 times a day, you need to take this into account, okay? So I would only look at the products that are selling approximately, as a general rule of thumb, 15 sales per day or more. That way now you have a general idea of who are the top competitors, and then use Keepa or Market Intelligence or Jungle Scout. Did I just say Jungle Scout?
You said it, yeah.
I meant Amazing. He's influencing me. Although this is good. If by the end of this visit, I'm using a PC, I'm sorry, I've been tainted.
I'll buy the first one.
I'm going to get it for your computer. But if Amazal gives you they'll give you the history, and you see consistently these, like not just, sometimes someone will show up as a competitor on these tools because they just did a big launch or a giveaway. It's unrealistic. You need to see over a period of time, who are those top competitors, and study. That's the first thing I would look at, is make sure those competitors aren't more than around 20 top competitors. There's tons more I could say on that, but
I'm exactly with you, and I'll make sure that they're spread out, the sales between the alt sellers, to make sure that is not brand loyalty there or anything that you missed.
Yeah, that's really good. All right. Well, hey, let's do one more question. I'll let you take it. Saad, here, brother. You just pick one of those.
Oh, my God. I hope I can know how to read. Okay, this basically, thus we answered this one. What's PPC? That's an easy one. Pay-per-click. It's pay-per-click for advertising and
on Amazon. When you're running an advert, like if you search for a product and you see sponsored listings come, it says sponsored above it. That means that seller is paying Amazon money for their product to show up. And every time someone clicks on that, they pay money to Amazon to advertise.
No, we have one more question here.
Sure.
I think is a nice one.
Go for it.
Slava K says, Seth, can any supplier go and change my listing if I don't have a brand registry? This one actually will happen only if you're a creator of the listing itself and you change everything. It's very hard for someone to change it. The only way they'll be able to do it is basically contacting Amazon and giving them a reason why they need to change it.
Right.
Without brand registry, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but you can change it yourself later on. So it does happen sometimes. It goes in and says, hey, you know what? I need to change it. I need to change this few keywords, whatever. It happens a lot of retail arbitrage, but it doesn't happen in private label as much.
Yeah.
And you will have control to change them very quick. And if any hijacker wants to do that, it's very rare, honestly.
Yeah. If your account is healthy and you're taking care of your customer, that is the number one thing you can do to stay in Amazon's good graces so that you don't lose the flexibility of having power over your own listing that you created. Guys, I hope this has been super helpful to you. I've been receiving a bunch of messages on Instagram on my phone. And for those of you guys who are waiting for me to get back, I promise I'll respond to you as soon as I can. But for those of you guys watching this right now with the questions, most of them have been about, Seth, tell me about the 3 programs. How do they compare? JustOneDime.com/coaching. Go there. If you want this, but you want this 6 hours every week for a year, we can do that for you. But regardless, I hope this has been super helpful for you guys. Keep crushing it. My hope, you guys, is this. that, you know, a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, and we keep getting messages about this happening, you can come back and say, look, now I am free to travel anywhere in the world, and I have margin to do the things I love with the people I love. To be able to sit here and do this with my brother and friend Saad as a fellow coach for just one dime, and the freedom this gives you guys is so much beyond how I felt when I worked for Apple. And our kids are in there having fun, screaming, yelling, playing. Our wives are talking like, guys, this is life. I believe this is how life was meant to live. And to have the margin to be able to come on here and just just teach you guys and share what we're learning and have coffee together and talk. Guys, this is what it's about. And that is why I sell on Amazon. That is why I do what I do. And our goal is that we can just keep becoming more and more effective at this. And for those of you guys who had questions we couldn't answer, I'm sorry we couldn't answer them. But guys, go to justonedime.com/coaching. And you guys have an awesome rest of your day. And he's going to zap himself back to Canada now.
That's it. So see you back in Canada. Thank you so much.
See you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.